Hello, hello. This is Dan Lutz, and welcome to the front lines. I'm here with,
Tank.
and we're here to point out where the cabal is messing up in the world. so, yeah, sorry that my system is not cooperating, so it's throwing me a little bit off here. Its screens are not popping up, and I'm waiting and waiting. So, sorry about that. So, anyway, what's going on, Tank?
Well, we've been kind of focused on bringing out this information, giving Haiti support. So we had some, part 2 and part 3 of the videos that we put up last night are out there. We put the links out there to actually gather donations, so we know the donations are going directly to the Haitian people instead of to the Clinton mafia efforts to kill everybody. So we said, I have a list, right, of where all these charities end up, where all their money ends up. So, obviously we're doing everything we can to differentiate ourselves from them. So we're actually going to make sure that everything we put out is completely transparent. The novelty of that idea to do something completely above board, right? So there is the link there is actually in all the YouTube videos. And we're actually, we started working, we'll have this done probably by tomorrow. Then we'll have a page up for Haiti on the speakproject.net. And people can go there and, make donations. And that goes directly to the ground, right? That is people on the ground in Haiti. That is not, that is a there's regular people who have this money set up, and they'll be able to get things to people right away. And so you don't have to worry about money going somewhere else. So I'm excited about that, to at least try to get them some money or get them some help in any way we can. Plus, we are making a spectacle about what a absolute nightmare and debacle it is that you have this juggernaut of a country that we are as the United States, endorsing essentially people like, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and their horrible Clinton cartel, human trafficking and debauchery foundation that they basically use to overtake this entire country and run them into the ground. And in so doing, there comes a point where you got to stand up, do something about it, because if not, we're liable on some level, right? Because these are our people, right? I mean, not our people, but we kind of get blamed for their sins, right? And this has been my biggest pet peeve for a long time, is that all of their lies become our lies, right? All of their sins become our sins if we do nothing about it. And I really think that's what Jean-Louis speaks to. And so we got that underway. We also have some really, really, really
Lost him. We lost him.
Yeah.
He'll come back.
Yeah. We really, really have
some exciting things coming on.
Well, we can't know about those things because that would be too much for the world.
I prefer he tells everybody how exciting they are.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll bear with it and wait for it to pop back on. I've been looking at the stuff that Shift was also being responsible for in this whistleblower report that came out. Was it really a whistleblower? Is one of the questions, or is he just a fabrication? Maybe he's an AI, a deep fake they're going to put together because they don't want him to appear in front of Congress because of death threats. Who's going to kill him for secondhand information about a conversation that everybody knows about and there's no problem with?
Right. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, so
and it doesn't make sense, Dan, that he's still sitting in office, what he's doing.
Of course not. How can he still be there? It's ridiculous that this guy, continues to lie, who says that he's personally has all this evidence. He's privy to about Russian collusion. First of all, right? Well, where is it? Nothing. Now it's now his staffer goes to the Ukraine to talk with them about the whistleblower report. But why? Why is Adam Schiff
Right.
involved in it? Well, what information do they have to get out of the Ukraine? And then who pays for the flight? It's the oil company that Hunter Biden's was sitting on the board of. That pays for the flight for Schiff's office guy to go there. Well, does that not
Wow.
sound like it's pretty dirty? I mean, wouldn't you have? Wouldn't you just have the staffer pay for it himself?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
take that a step further.
Yeah.
We learned that Joe Biden was paid $900,000 from the very same oil company.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. I haven't heard that.
Sorry,
that
is it
one.
an oil company or what is Bird's
It's an oil company, yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, he was paid $900,000.
Well, apparently this area has a lot of gold. Well, they have that too, but they a lot of the whole point is the oil and the oil pipelines going through the Khazar regions, right? So we're back to the Khazarian mafia, right? So the Russians have that involvement there to get the oil from Russia into Europe, and Tank, are you back? I thought I heard something.
I see him, but he's not speaking yet, so maybe he's just adjusting his
Yeah, not muted, but yeah,
stuff.
I heard
Or
something.
maybe I'll need to.
See?
There you go.
Sorry about that. I got interrupted.
No problem.
Because we've only been live for 210 days straight, so no one knows what I'm doing right now. So that's why they call. Yeah, so that works.
Yeah. Hello. If we're on the air, don't call it this time. Just check
Yes,
first.
by the way. Also, we love to have guests on the show. However, we like to control when they come in. Andrew Collins is an exception because Andrew Collins is fun. But in general, we like people to, have an invitation. Don't just hack our line. So, a bunch of people coming in all over the place.
Oh, we can have days where we have open lines, right, where people can just jump in.
Oh.
That's we can have those days. So we did a Q&A that was pretty successful. We should probably try and do that once a week or once every 2 weeks, something like that.
You just read my mind, Dan. That's,
Yeah.
That's how close we are getting. We just talked about that. I was just about to say I think we should do it once a week. We'll do a Q&A. And we're actually, Sid, we want to do she wants to do a Patriots Q&A.
Yeah, I would love to invite the Patriots on because, number one, what we're doing with National Liberty Alliance is very important to them. But also the things that we know about Kim could also open up their minds to the next level because they always get kind of stuck at one level of information. And, Q always says, be your choice to know more or learn more. And I think that's what they'd get out of it. So let's see. We'll figure it out. I'll let you guys know.
I love today in one of the Q drops was like, only 10 people, approximately 10 people on the whole planet know who Q is. And I was like,
Me,
man.
you, Kim. No,
There we go. Yeah, I'm going to kill my wind noise. Hang on. I'll be back. Well, you can keep talking.
Oh, sorry.
That's
We
all
were
right.
waiting for you.
Hang on for me. I just noticed that.
Do you love it when people fix their houses in the middle of the show?
I really enjoy this time of year because the breeze is so nice, right? And it's nice and warm. I know it's probably cold where you guys are, but here it is.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yes, but this breeze is really nice, except when it blows across the microphone, and then I know it's gonna go noise. So anyway, as soon as I notice it, I try to dampen it. I just shut one of the doors, but I still get to see the beautiful view. I do have that. But yeah, so this whole thing happening, from Biden is blowing up on him. But I think, I appreciate Glenn Beck for putting out his chalkboard videos, right? Sorry, he lines all up and draws it all out in a timeline across the chalkboards, right? And it's just this: where the money came in, and now where's the money? It's where the money came in, now where's the money? It's where the money came in, now where's money? Now we see that Nancy Pelosi's son is there, Jim Carrey's son is there, Joe Biden's son is there. Trump is talking about tax returns. They want to see my tax returns. He's going to come back and whack them with his tax returns. And then he's going to say, but we want to see your family's tax returns. Your children and your wives and your extended families and your friends, right? Because if they're collecting money for you, it's the same as you collecting money. So I think that's what one of the next setups is. I mean, the Q must have had this massive, chalkboard that they linked all this stuff up on and said, okay, this is how we're going to get them on this one. Here's the trap. And just laid these things out. And they just walk into each trap. He'll eventually just release his tax returns and there'll be nothing there. There we go.
Yeah. Check that out. I mean, you don't even need tax returns for some of this stuff, right? It's like,
sure,
for reasonable things, they paid Joe Biden $900,000 for lobbying activities. Lobbying, which is essentially, persuasion. I mean, like, what are they? Is he lobbying? Are they lobbying for him?
When did they do this? When did they pay him? While he was vice president or after?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but it doesn't really matter because he clearly has, a lot to hide, and now it's too late. So, good luck with the presidency.
Yeah, he's not going to end up being president. I think he's just hiding in the presidential run. That's so why Hillary's thinking of getting in. When it looks like everything's going to crash, that's when she's going to get in because she's going to hope that's going to protect her. It'll be like, it's either that or run. I'd say, at least, 90% of them are going to run.
Oh my gosh, this one city is fire. Holy cow, this is a big deal. Hang on one second, man. Check this out. All right. Let's see here. Where is it? Look at that. Bam. Shiv Pelosi caught in Ukrainian arms scandal. Giuliani confirms.
Wow.
The hits just keep coming for the Ukraine. Like, it's not Russiagate, it's Ukrainegate.
Yeah.
I know, right? Wow.
Ukraine against the Democrats. I mean, all lined up. I mean, it's all of them are on the gravy train. Where did the $7 billion go? Where is it? Well, it went into their hands. Right now, what they show on these, here's the million in the front. They don't show what's happening on the back end, where they're hiding these funds. Where that money goes. They use it to buy gold, and they stash it away. They buy an island, and nobody knows where the money is. But the money they show coming in the front, that's their spending money, so they can put it on their taxes and roam around the planet in the system. The rest of the money they hide. This big money, these billions that they're taking. Meanwhile, Trump is losing billions being president.
Trump.
Yeah. Hello?
We keep losing change. He's going in and out constantly. Too.
Yeah.
You there?
Dang.
Huh? Right. Yeah. So this is why the trust, that was where they all hid all their money. So once Kim shut their money off, if they have money, it's there. If they don't, it also shows, right? So it's like the first time in history where you have like a good 7-year period where whatever they've done, there's a record of it that's, is pretty much public, somewhere. So.
Yep.
I'm thrilled that right now it feels like there's some speed and some momentum behind this. Um,
Oh my God.
Hey, Tank, what are you doing now?
Right now I'm running from the cops.
That's it.
No, to be really honest, so last night, like when my video came out, I'm like, I go over by this, I go to this one area, like 2 towns over, to hide from the police, like stalking me, right? Like running sirens by my house. So, and I was like walking around this dealership, just checking out cars while I was talking, and the cops started following me all over, right? Like, so they were waiting for me, trying to like get me in a trap to see if I was gonna try to steal cars or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, guys, give me a break.
That was pretty loud, though. I have never heard it that loud before, and I've been on the phone.
That was Dan. Dan did that.
Oh God! You got me flustered. I was like, "Holy crap! They're gonna arrest him this time." He's like right there.
Oh please! You kidding me? We'll be live all over the world. We'll go so viral. Forget about it.
I know.
Yes. I'll get boosted by Galactics.
One can only wish.
Oh, I would love that. Great. I'm a ship. They show up to the jail cell. I'm not even there. Where'd he go?
I think you probably have to disappear before they booked you, so that way they wouldn't have like a manhunt for you.
Man, I would. I don't even know anymore. I'm not concerned about those things anymore. I feel like you stay public. You let them know. Everybody knows they're constantly harassing me. And I was live on air when they pulled me. I noticed that they've been harassing me less since that happened. They probably got busted because they're like, "What are you guys doing?" Like, he was live. Like everybody. Yeah.
It's like when the cabal gets in trouble for doing dumb stuff.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you guys are overzealous to say the least. So, so all this stuff is pretty amazing. So what Adam Schiff says, comes out and says, the whistleblower is getting death threats. And how is that possible? The whistleblower is anonymous.
Right.
That's the first thing that comes into question. Then Rudy Giuliani says now, they're talking about taking the whistleblower. The Democrats are saying we're going to take the whistleblower, put him behind a screen, and alter his voice. Well, isn't that convenient? Like, is it because of the death threats that the anonymous whistleblower is given?
Yeah,
or are you just afraid that Joe Biden's hiding behind the curtain?
The voice modulator goes off and it's just Joe Biden in the back.
Well, I'm recalling what the Q always said. These people are stupid.
Or stupid. I was just about to say that. Totally stupid.
It's like, oh yes, the anonymous whistleblower that no one knows who it is. He's receiving death threats. I wonder if they're anonymous death threats. It's just in general.
Yeah, in general. I feel like that's, and plus the whistleblower is Adam Schiff, so what he's probably saying, right? Real story. Because think about it, they're so flustered right now, right? Because the order realizes people like Adam Schiff and Maxine Waters were never really supposed to be like the voice of their movement, right? Because they were like low-level minions, but now everybody's been like eliminated or bailed out. So it's like, okay, we got like Adam Schiff, Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. It's like the A team of the zero team, right? Like, it's like
Exactly.
It's like there's no way that they can win. So what do they do? They started yelling at them, scaring them, like, "We are going to kill you if you do not get President Trump impeached," right? And then Adam Schiff comes out and says, "The whistleblower is getting death threats." Because one of the Rothschilds just called him and told me he was going to get killed if he didn't pull it off.
I'm almost certain that's what happened. Their talent pool is very, very dry at this point.
Well, what
Yeah.
is it actually Rothschild side or is it the Rockefeller side?
It's the same side. There's no
It's the same.
or just
Okay.
different sides of the same messed up, perverted, old, pedophile guys. It's, I don't know.
Various colored dragons, if that's going to help you
Yes.
figure it out.
Right.
It doesn't, because
Yeah.
The Skittle dragons now, they used to be very terrifying. Now they're just like the Skittle dragons.
The
Candy colored.
Skittles.
the skinny rainbow colored dragons that twerk.
It's
The
work.
twerkers.
You know what we need to do now? The next stage of our plan is about to go underway. Get all the gay guys who twerk wearing Daisy Dukes. Get them out there. Let's go. 18.
Cons division.
Which I'm not. I mean, that's great. I mean, I think that's a great thing if you're advertising for like a new club. But if like you're trying to save the environment, it's kind of like an obvious distraction, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Tank, I need a translation. I've heard you say this a few times, and I don't know what you mean.
Oh,
They're-
I'm
I
so
know.
happy. I'm so happy you asked for that. 1 second, I will get your translation. I'll talk about something else for a minute. I'll come back.
All right.
What translation?
I need a translation. What does it mean they're wearing Daisy Dukes?
Very short shorts. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, I said, okay. I just, I know who Daisy Duke is. I remember, that.
Well, okay, it comes from the TV show called The Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, I know that, but I know Daisy Duke. I know she was a sexy blonde, but I don't know what that means. Wearing Daisy Dukes, I didn't know what that meant.
Oh, here, Dan. I'm going to show you right now.
Oh God,
Okay.
no.
No.
Congratulations. This is for you, Dan. This is for you. 1 second. Here we go. Here we go.
No, please. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. For the environment, Dan. For the environment. For the planet.
No, I'm
For the
not
planet.
looking. I
Making-
don't need mental pollution.
Yep. Stop global warming. All right, sorry.
This is
Oh, the cabal. Fear us. Fear the cabal.
Okay, it's over. All right.
Everybody out there.
Okay, see, this is in this world. If you really don't like something, you don't have to watch. You don't have to complain to everyone and get laws passed. You just cover your eyes. Yeah, I just don't need to see that. You don't like what people are saying? Walk away. Don't throw milkshakes at them and be rude.
So,
Just be polite. Be polite to one another, even if you disagree.
I totally. Well, I mean, but it's a little bit tough when you have really nefarious intentions. It's hard to be polite to people that are trying to kill you, right?
Oh
All
my
right.
God! If you guys come on late, this is what happens. It's hilarious.
Okay, but
I
do
figured.
actually have some-
I figured turnabout is fair play. You're going to send that Daisy Dukes at me, so
yeah.
I got it back.
So I do have some pretty incredible Speakwalker news, right?
Okay.
That I think we need to talk about. You can't mess with Michelle Walker. I'm telling you what, she is just amazing with the amount of information that she gets, right? And she's also really good at putting the pieces together. So we've been pulling all this information for the vaccines, right? And we pulled a bunch of government contracts for various things, right, to prove that the FDA has contracts and patents on various vaccines that they're profiting off of, while at the same time being the regulatory body that actually governs that, which is clearly a conflict of interest. But in this process, Michelle exposed some other things which are pretty incredible. And in her network of super friends that she has, and researchers and stuff. So, and I didn't know this, and I mean, so it kind of really blew my mind. So, did you know that fluoride actually in the body, one of the things it does is it makes it so the adrenal glands will be more, easier to harvest, right? It kind of hardens them up a little bit, so you can take them out that way and use them in different ways and turn them into the substance they want. to make their drug. So the fluoride in the water goes back to them actually getting adrenochrome, to maintain their, whatever they call their life, right? But also, there's actually fluoride in the vaccines. There's actually, now I didn't see the ingredients for those, for the ones that have it, but I guess there's actually vaccines which are required to have fluoride in it. So they're injecting a known poison directly into the children, right? And if you couple this with the fact that they're taking leukemia, and they're actually, which they discovered, this was discovered in Italy, and they showed this, but they had the full human genome from a fetus from like 1966 that is infected with leukemia, that they put in all of the MMR viruses, right? And they put it there so that they could inject these children with leukemia. And as we've already discussed, leukemia rates since 1970, when they stopped killing people for being dumb, right? Or sterilizing people for being dumb, right? With the eugenics program. Mm-hmm. So they stopped that. And the reason why they stopped it is because, hey, we're about to take vaccinations this whole year, right? So we'll make it look like we're stopping eugenics because it's immoral. While at the same time, we're going to start putting fluoride and leukemia from aborted fetuses in the actual vaccines that we're going to give everybody. And what you can do with a fetus, what's so amazing about stem cells, right, is you can massively reproduce them. So you can keep producing that same infected fetus, right, that same infected stem cells, and put them in the same vaccine over and over and over again because you're constantly growing new ones. And in that, you're repeating the same leukemia over, and probably getting more potent, I would imagine. And that's why we know at least about 46% increase in children's deaths from leukemia since 1971. And so I thought that was a horrifying reality that it goes back to adrenochrome again. I'll pass that on.
Yeah, that's amazing that just to think that they put even more poisons. I mean, fluoride is so poisonous, right? You have to call poison prevention whenever you inject it. So if you take a vaccine, you have to call poison prevention.
Right. That's right. So imagine, like, that's exactly what we should be doing too. It's like, how in the hell have we allowed this to continue on? How could anyone in any medical profession continue to justify this? Well, I realize, so the medical school in the West is run just like the military is run. What they do is they compartmentalize everything about the way they teach medicine. So you learn everything in segments and compartments. So you learn everything as if the body is somehow separate. But in reality, everything works together. That's why you can fix one piece, that is out of alignment or doesn't have the right amount of nutrients, or you can damage one piece and it'll damage all these other things. But you got to track it back to the source. You got to find out what was the real problem, right? So pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Well, I think at least we have some solutions to counter these. I'm just thinking back to my daughter still dealing with she's kind of like torn. She's listening to me, but she said, well, I don't want to move to another state. I said, well, I don't know. You want grandkids? Maybe that's what it takes. You have to move out. So, when you see like Trump has just signed this new executive order that is going to help people that are being affected by the government programs, right? That are whether it's EPA or something else. I think maybe that can also apply to the vaccines. We should probably look into that. So, this is something that was signed today. Read through it and see maybe some of that applies for vaccines, because this is being forced on people and it's causing harm, and they get you with the regulations. You can't send your kids to school. Now they're going to call CPS on you because you're not giving them vaccines. So again, this is all this big trap. Same thing, where this is government overreach. So anyway, I want to read that executive order and see if there's any way that it might apply for the vaccine problem.
Well, I would, I think that I think if you go into the actual definitions, the legal definitions, right, of what a government program is, that most of us will realize we're all in a government program, right?
Right.
We're being programmed by a hierarchy government which is sits above the American government, or at least they think they do, and they've had that control because they control the money. And I'll throw something at you. This is an idea. Now, imagine this, right? This is one of my reformation plans that I think could potentially work. Now, anybody that's been listening to me, I've been talking about, the money has got to come in through the people, right? If it doesn't come in through the people, then you're constantly at the dictates, at the behest of, some level of corruption in the government. There's never a sense of urgency to actually get anything done. They spend months and years deliberating on things while people suffer and die, right? So that system, I'd say, doesn't seem to be working. So we'll call this the George Costanza method. We're going to call this the George Costanza law, right? So we'll come in and do exactly the opposite. So here's how we do it the opposite way. We've got about 3,200 counties in the United States, right? And in these counties, every single one of them has their own common law court, which requires them to have a common law court system, which would require them to handle money to pay, their administrators and secretaries and, pay the bills on the courthouse and things of that nature. So they all need a treasurer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every one of those treasurers actually, there's money that will be released from the trust because the trust has been put from the government anyways. So instead of those counties waiting on government funding or funds coming in from the government, all the funding, every single dime of federal funding would be divided among, 3,200 counties, given out to those counties, and the specific allotment for the government, for the budget they set, right? So they get to set their budget, that goes to the county. And that county gets to monitor every dime of that to make sure that the money is spent properly. And they won't fund the government, as in the people, they will not fund the government until they are confident the money is going to go to the right place. So then you can dictate, well, okay, first thing we want to make sure that gets stopped right now today is every single grant-funded organization that makes, its, a livelihood by killing infants that are, just born, or poisoning people, or putting poison in our water. Those things need to stop immediately by order of the people. Because there's God, who sits at the top of all natural law or source, and then the next step is the people. And then the Constitution, then, the current system that's running that has been over us. That's how it actually is aligned, right? That's actually what's stated in the Constitution. That governments are here because the people, to make sure that we have a life that is safe, that we can thrive. So if we divide all that money up, right, and we gave it out that way, you also prevent any one group from having, a mountain or a truckload of money, right? Everybody's got a little piece. And then they get to decide. Now you put the power back in the hands of the people.
Well, I think also, continuing along the theme of reversing things. So if you're setting up, to where you're going after the ones that are harming, the babes, you should, do also the opposite, where you are protecting, right? So that would include, against CPS, so who's going to monitor the CPS people, investigators that get paid to look at what's happening with the CPS people, where those children go, right? Get a monitoring system for the kids so that they can keep in touch with their parents, right? Things of that nature, get them this ability to protect themselves. So, there's all sorts of other things we can start looking at funding that's just the opposite of this, considering we know who the enemy is. They're going to claim, oh, these are the good guys, right?
Right. Well, The other thing is bad science, right? That's another enemy. You know,
Yeah.
is you have this whole all these concepts behind science. They completely negate 100 years. For 100 years, all of our science completely leaves out the existence of the energetic field, right? The energetic field that connects every atom, every proton and particle on the planet, and is connected to a field that all things are communicating with all around the planet. And they didn't, whatever it was, 100 plus years ago, when they looked at it, it said it doesn't exist. But we've since proven with the science they use that it does exist. So think of how that changes everything, right? And or let's talk about how about we take science that's out there and we actually bring it to the forefront, and people actually look at real science, like the double split test. Why isn't that taught in schools? Can you imagine if kids were taught in schools that the scientists have proven that what you think about, you make it matter? No, literally, I mean that. The more you think about something, you draw it into matter, an existence, right? You give it purpose, and the plasma from the universe draws together to form whatever you're thinking about. It's amazing. It's amazing. How much time will we spend in school just focused on things that are incredible? How much better would the world be? And kids are powerful, man.
Right.
So, I'm about it.
Well, I think well, we're making it matter right now. As we're talking about it, 218 days straight. I guess where we're at here. 219. Today's 219. So the big 220 is tomorrow, or the big 222 is in 3 days.
The big 220.
222 will be in 3 days. On Sunday.
So,
I'm hoping this is the last show, though, guys.
you know what? And we'll just do shows as needed to update people on other things. That's my dream. I want this to. Right now, listening to Joan Lutz yesterday, and just realizing, this is one thing it did for me, right? I'm always looking for the benefit of when you feel that kind of a weight attached to something, right? And the benefit I got out of it was this: is that we've been talking a lot about America, all right, and what needs to be done here. And I really allowed myself to focus on that because I felt like, okay, let's just focus on this right now because this is what is essential. But we have projects all over the world, right, that are world changing, but to change your world, I really think the way to do it is to do it kind of one community at a time, but not linear. It means that you need to have leaders step up in every community all at the same time. And each one of them focuses on their respective community, right? They make that the most important thing. You focus on your area, your family, your neighborhood, right? I use a silly example, but it's true, is, to teach my sons when they were little not to litter,
Sorry about that.
Dan must have had a revelation.
Sorry.
Yeah. Now, when my sons were little, I forced them, like they drop garbage in a parking lot. I had them pick up that garbage, and then I had them pick up all the garbage in the parking lot. And I was telling them back then, I'm like, if you don't take care of your neighborhood, nobody will. If you treat it like that, why would anybody else treat you with respect, right? Now, that's true of every place. Now, the illusion in a lot of cases is that we don't care about our, like you have certain neighborhoods that run down. It seems like the people that live there don't care. But in a lot of cases, the reality is that you had some other force come in, and kind of impose their will on them. And then in that, it happens so quick, and all of a sudden, then they're trapped. Think about Haiti. Where do these people go? They can't get to the media. They're making 13 cents an hour. What are they going to do? Earn their way out? I mean, it is the absolute definition of slavery. There's no way to get out. There's no way to earn your freedom, right? You have a very small group of elites they're talking about, the president there, Jolan Moise, I think it is.
Yeah.
And he promised that everybody would have money in their pockets and food in their homes and money in their pockets. Now you got to think how rugged a country is when that's all you got to say to people to get elected, right? Hey, you're gonna have food. I mean, 'cause we take that for granted here, right? Because we have so much food here, even though in reality it's not real food, right?
Right.
We have like rations that are set up for emergencies that they turned into that have a really long shelf life, and they fed that to us instead because they didn't realize that, oh, this will make people fat and useless, and they'll dumb them down. It's easy to put all types of ingredients and stuff so they'll stay on the shelf. And but I mean, just to think, like, there's no way out. And talking to Jean, he's fighting a good fight, right? He's finding ways out of it. But there's not many people that can do that. And you know what? To be honest, if we don't get them help, he won't be able to do it long, because they've already set a precedent. They'll take your passport. They'll black out the media. Sometimes you just won't be able to call through.
Right.
I mean, that's not even hard to do. They do that to me. I live in New York. So imagine how easy it would be to do down in Haiti, right?
Well, it's not necessarily safe for me either to be speaking on this, but that is the kind of courage we need.
Yeah. He does say at one point, he said, I am putting my life at risk, reaching out to America, and to Americans to get help. I'm telling you, that stuff that John had to say,
Right.
It's powerful. Powerful.
And to piggyback what you said about there's nowhere for Haitians to go, they can't even run to DR because I've seen footage of people trying to escape Haiti, and they're getting, abused trying to get into DR, which is like a neighboring country, Dominican Republic. And
It's like it's more than what I find interesting. It's more than a neighboring country. It's half of the island.
Right. So you've got to imagine they're stuck. They're stuck in hell, basically.
Yeah, so.
And we've got to take notice of those things, just like Hank said. Super important.
I mean, and the DR, man, is, they've got, it might have died down now, but I know just a few months ago, there was videos from this group on the one side of the island, just grabbing up, the mercenaries, grabbing up, torturing, raping, tourists, and they did it on purpose to scare the heck out of people, because tourism is so much of their actual money that they make. They want people to show up there. So they do things like this, because if there's no money to be made, right, and tourists are coming into your country with all this money, and then some, rich Rothschild guy comes in, right, and says, hey, you know what, we'll pay you to do this. Go out, rape these girls, kidnap them, we'll give you $10,000, right? I mean, that would probably be like 5 years of income or more. So that's
I've actually vacationed there, and luckily I didn't get, taken. But it could have happened to anyone, especially if they wanted it to happen, and they can make that happen.
Basically what happens is there's one side of the island that is completely, it's tourist, right? It's all tourist, but it's all resorts. So when you go in, everything you need is on the resort. So you don't really need to leave the resort. So from that standpoint, it's relatively safe. But if you go too far off the resort, it doesn't take long to see how dangerous it really is.
Right.
Oh yeah, I saw some patches of danger. I was like, I'm not going there. Beautiful places though. It's just.
Well, and that's what they do. They want to take over these places. They just have them themselves.
Right.
This Hurricane Michael. Now, Kim told me this. Now, and it's funny because I was talking to some people from Florida there too, and they said that Hurricane Michael, it wiped out this one area that wasn't filled with hotels. It was filled with homes, right? And it was one of the last places in the whole coastal area where you could buy beautiful homes on the beach and live there, and there was a great community there that was, that were reasonably priced, right? It was a reasonably priced situation, and they were able to live there. So what does the cabal do, right? Hurricane hits, they don't allow funding to go through to rebuild the homes. So what do people do? They're desperate. So then you have some developer come in and say, hey, I'll give you this much money. We're going to build a resort here and we'll buy your house, right? And it's a pittance of what that was actually worth. And then they take this area and they turn it into the latest and greatest vacation spot. Which I don't know why they need so many vacation spots anyways, because they're trying to kill everybody off. So it seems like they just
but before they kill you off, they want to take your money and make you go pay.
Yeah.
Well, but you're not going to need it because you're going to be dead, so might as well, them have it.
Would you squeeze the fiat out of you?
Squeeze the fiat out of you.
I'm serious.
I don't know. That's what I think. That one's going to last a while. I'm going to squeeze the fiat out of you.
Yep. Sorry, front lines. A little bit of Sid humor there.
No, it's good. Yeah.
So we did two things. So some people tried to donate money, and thank you for that from Denmark. And when they tried to donate money, the account set up directly to Haiti is it wouldn't allow them to do it. It would only accept U.S. dollars. So we set up a PayPal account through Guardian of Camelot, because Guardian of Camelot is a tax exempt organization, tax exempt unincorporated organization. So we're able to accept that donations, and that account is set up specifically for Haiti. And so we can take that in any currency, and we'll get it directly to them. Just FYI. So that link will be added as well. And we are going to get them money, and I also am fully confident that Kim is about to break through as well. And but you know what? The reason why we're doing this is because we can't wait. We can't wait for something to change. We have to go change it. And as far as I'm concerned, to be in a situation right now to send a message to the universe that now is the time. We are going to find a way to do this and take back the planet, right, and give it back to the people and empower them. But we've got pockets of good people that are innocent. They didn't do anything wrong, right? You can't blame people for just being from where they're from. You can't blame people because they didn't see, because they invited you into their home for dinner and, you showed up and poisoned everybody in the place. And no one saw that coming, You can't be mad at people. That's exactly what the Clintons did. So.
It's truly evil what they've done. It's really remarkable that the people that protect them in the media, I'd like to think that they don't know, but I don't think that's the case. I think they do know. I think they do know exactly who she is and what she does, and I think they're part of it. I think they're complicit. I think they participate, and there is no difference. It's just she's more the queen of what they do, right? It's just they're all into the monarchy, right? Protecting the ruler, and she's the one that was slated to be the one, right? And that's why they're still pushing her up there, right? They're still doing it today. She just said something now about running.
You know what? Hillary Clinton thinks she's important, because she's the blue dragon right now, right? So she's not even, whatever that means, right? And in that letter they talk about, she thinks she's the blue dragon. She thinks that. She's not. Because the blue dragon clearly, at some point, it meant something, right? It meant something. These dragon families were not supposed to be what they are now. So even the symbolism of the dragons needs to, come back. Because dragons are not supposed to be these, monsters the way they portray them. They're supposed to be the protectors of the people, right? And protectors of the planet. That's what the symbol is, right? So, shame on them for making it, to be associated with,
right?
gluttony and consumption and murder and pedophilia, all the things that they created, what it means to be a dragon.
I mean, I always had good feelings about dragons, even when I was young, right? Being a dragon sign astrologically, that may have something to do with it. But even when I played Dungeons and Dragons back in the high school days, dragons for me were like the wise, power sources, right? That were, doing good things. They may have been protecting treasure and things of that nature, but there were good dragons and bad dragons as well. But the symbology of dragons, I always thought was to be good things. So, but the guy that does Lucid Dreamer for Thomas's show, that the channel is Lucid Dreamer. He started doing some of his own videos, and he put up one that said the three witches. That was Hillary, Warren, and Pelosi. So I guess the blue dragon being Hillary, the black dragon being Pelosi. So who's Warren? Is that the red dragon? She is the Indian, so would that be the red dragon?
Oh my gosh! Wow, she is not the Indian.
Yeah.
She's more East Indian than she is Native American.
I don't know what color is she. I wouldn't want to give her the yellow dragon status because that's the one I always identified as. I had I had like a self-image of being a dragon. Like if I was a dragon, I'd be like the gold dragon, because I'm a Libra. Also, my tail would be split into two sides, and would be for weighing out things, keeping things in balance.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, here, I'll show you my dragons, Dan. These are my dragons I see in a meditation all the time, right? Where's it? Okay. So this is this blue dragon that I always see that I drew out. I don't know if you can tell what it is, but
I can see, yeah.
blue dragon. And
I like the
then
golden fingernails, yeah.
This is a portal I saw. It looked like a hawk. And then this I saw in meditation was the blue dragon, right? Which I was a blue dragon, was part of the sword. This, and then the woman was like the blade of the sword. What else here? Make sure I don't have anything else. And then this, it's hard to tell, but this is like a blue dragon that I saw going through a black hole.
Oh, black hole. Okay.
Wow.
Crazy stuff. It's that blue that I saw in the water. Pulling people out. This is Atlantis that I saw in meditation.
A lot of detail.
Now, this one is actually it was a white dragon that was part of the planet. It was like white and green. It's hard to see it, but let's see. That one, she actually took out there was some evil that lived in the planet until what I was taking care of. She couldn't come up. So all that kind of craziness I see all the time in meditation.
Yeah, I always associated the black dragon with like Earth, being part of the Earth. I don't know why, but that was kind of the thing I always felt. But white dragon, I was always thinking like more of the sky, clouds, I guess, back in the day. So yeah, but these are, I always saw them as good things, but powerful.
Well, you know what? I know I've seen I never, I'm not one to like make predictions or anything like that, but I do take the time to meditate, and I don't try to see these things, but I've had some experiences, so I've taken the time to draw them out. And I know that I've seen through the eyes of the blue dragon several times. I know that in this world, or in my world, I'm the blue dragon. So I don't know what Hillary Clinton's talking about. I don't care who she is, because at the end of the day, I see it totally different. And there's some reason, right? There's an energy attached to that that I think is right and is good. That has nothing to do with the pathetic, broken down old lady / clone / demon that she is. So she feels like challenged me, and then she probably thinks she's really smart, right? They all think that they're so intellectually superior that they can do battle on the mental planes. Jared Rand one time to try to scare me. He said, "When you see one of them, they are pure evil. When you've been in the presence of pure evil, it is terrifying." I'm like, that's because you're a punk, Rand. Because they come at you and they start using things against you, and you're so trained to just bow down and put your face in the dirt. It doesn't matter what they do after that. You don't know because you were looking down. So you're scared and you live in your fears. That's a choice. But if you just look up, you stand up.
When I was in Laos with Swiss Indo, and I was talking with Bapak, who's Mr. Sino AS in that designation. So I learned a lot of stuff from him, right, about the families and the positions and all this. But when we talked about the treasure, the gold and where it was, and asked, said, do I want to come and visit it? I said, sure. And he said, but there's a dragon that guards it. And my thought was, I said, well, I'm just going to bring some sugar with me, some sugar cubes, right? I'm not afraid of the black dragon or the dragon that's there. I'm going to say, hey, I like sugar. I'm a dragon. You must like sugar too. So, it's one of those. If you live in fear, you'll be afraid of everything. Right? So you're trained to be in fear. That's what their whole programming is about: is getting people to be afraid, take steps, do things, and then you don't do anything.
Yep.
The same thing with the people in the GCR. Why do they keep doing it? They're afraid to stop.
Yeah.
Oh, if I stop, I won't be getting any of the money. It's like,
right.
I need the money, so I can't stop. So they're afraid to stop.
Whenever I notice these things about the programming, and I see them, I'm like, oh wow, okay, I recognize the program, and I'm always amazed by it. And one of the things I want to be able to put it all together and explain so when it comes, people can recognize it, right? Like, we are trained, we're programmed to, when things are going well, to think something's about to go wrong. That's how we're trained, right? So
when is the other shoe going to drop?
Right. So we're trained to go to a place of fear or discomfort or self-blame, shame, guilt, right? And I watched it, my kid's mom, she talked to him, and she always gives them choices, right? Now, since they were little, and I was like, look, they're kids. Just tell them what we're doing. And she would give them a choice. And she was like, do you want to go to synagogue tonight for Yom Kippur? To my 6-year-old. And my 6-year-old goes, nah, not really. I don't really want to go. And then my 6-year-old, she's so smart, she goes, being that you asked me, I realize I have a choice, so I'm not going to go. And I was like, wow, that was really smart. And then her mom goes, like, oh, but, Sasha would really like to see you. And I stopped her. I said, do not do that. If you want her to go, tell her she's going. She's 6. Just tell her. But don't ask her as if she has a choice and then make her feel guilty because she didn't do what you wanted.
Well, she's Jewish then.
She is Jewish.
Well, that's the Jewish guilt, right? She's training them to be in the Jewish guilt.
Yeah, she's like a Jewish ninja. It's native. She does it so effortlessly you don't even know it's happening until you're on your way somewhere.
I was brought up Catholic, right? So I had all this Catholic experience with guilt, right? And then when I went to California, I ended up, my best friend was Jewish. And so his mother kind of became my mother. So she always gave me this Jewish guilt. And what happened was that the Jewish guilt and the Catholic guilt, they're kind of opposite to each other. So they canceled each other out. So I never am guilty.
Wow.
I'm immune to the guilt.
Yeah, I don't feel guilt anymore. I don't do things I feel guilty about.
That's one thing. Yeah, don't do things that you're going to feel guilty about.
Yeah, I make mistakes, right? Or I get overwhelmed, or I have made, at times, I made commitments on timing of things that I will do, but I might not get to it in the time I thought, right? But I always follow through. It just takes me longer sometimes. But I don't feel guilt, and I don't feel shame, and I don't allow myself to be around that kind of thing either.
Right.
Because it's such a low vibrational energy.
Right.
You know, anytime you have somebody doing something with you, right? Because you shame them into doing it. It's a terrible feeling. Right now you're driving in a car because you were shamed into doing it, but you don't want to be there. And the person who shamed you, they don't even feel good because you're there. Because now they feel like you don't even want to be here.
Right. Yeah. It's a bad situation all around.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose, man.
Yeah. Well, the other part is not to be in regret, right? So if you're going to do things that you're going to regret, then it's because you acted out of fear, right? So you did something, you didn't want to offend someone. You're fearful you're going to offend someone, or that I'm guilted into it, right? So you're doing whatever that's behind that. Your feeling is going to be manifested with the other things that accompany that like regret, right? Oh, I wish I never did that. Yeah. So it's one path, and you end up doing the same thing that you were trying to avoid in the first place. So.
That's right. So it's like, we've actually done studies about this too, right? Because it's like they take people who diet, right? So people who diet when they're initially in that first 8 weeks, they're craving, right? Especially the first 4 weeks. It's really bad. They're craving sugar if they gave it up or whatever they gave up. They're craving. So what happens is, if you can maintain a steady program for 8 weeks, your body will make physiological changes that will stabilize it, right? So if you just change your eating habit, your exercise habit for 8 weeks, great. What will happen is your body will stabilize at that place. So the weight you lost will stay off. Most people stop at 6 weeks, right? But what happens is they magnify the problem, right? And they end up gaining the weight back because they'll do something like they'll be craving chocolate cake. So they'll have a piece of chocolate cake. And the whole time they're eating it, they're mad at themselves for having chocolate cake. Now they're stressed out because they're off their diet. Now they got to start all over again, right? Now they've actually increased the hormone cortisol that causes you to gather weight around your waist, right? So now they're holding on to it because they ate the cake and they stressed out about it. So instead, just enjoy the cake, okay?
Yeah. Yep, you got to enjoy the cake.
Enjoy the cake when it's time. Do your work to get it. Later. Not a big deal. In other words, we don't got to waste our time. It's stress and shame, all these things. They've proven that one of the number one causes of high blood pressure and cardiovascular disease and various ailments is stress. But no one can say what a cup of stress looks like and what, it's not a tangible thing. You can reach out and put your hand on. So in other words, doctors acknowledge that the intangible and spiritual and metaphysical has a profound effect on people's health, but yet they don't ever treat the metaphysical. Say Western medical doctors, they don't treat that. They don't treat things, to really talk about what it is or how it works. But yet they'll treat with medications. Right now, anybody, if it's like a coloring book that has the numbers that you fill in. It says number 1 is blue and 2 is red, and you just fill in wherever you see 1, you fill in that area, right? Well, that's basically how Western medicine is practiced. If they have these symptoms, you give them this drug. If they have these symptoms, you give them this drug. If they're this age, if they're genetic factors, all these different things. And what they really did is they identified how to systematically eliminate the attributes that they didn't want, right? It's a perfect thing. Oh, genetically you have this common? Well, perfect, then you'll react to this, and we'll give you this product. I was talking to somebody about it today, and I was explaining to her how, John's products work, right? And I was talking about it now. As far as all the information I've gathered so far. Now, this is at this point pretty theoretical, but it won't be for long. Basically, what it seems to do is it actually goes into calcium is the most prolific element in your body. You have lots of calcium, right? But what we know from babies, right, when a baby is growing, developing, in the womb, that when a baby needs some kind of nutrient, it'll just reach into the mother's bowels, right, and take it from the mother, right? And what it'll do is it'll take calcium and it'll transmute it into the minerals, the nutrients, the substance that it needs to grow healthy, right? Now you'll see that because women will, they'll have their teeth will break sometimes when they're pregnant, or their hair will be brittle, right? That's why they're always taking things like folic acid to make sure that they're healthy, right? So we know that calcium is a simplified, molecule that can basically be modified very easily to make something else. So John and I were talking about it, and we're looking at it like, well, it doesn't. I don't think it dissolves, the plaque. What it's actually doing is it's taking it and it's transmuting it into substance the body actually needs. Well, that's my theory on it right now. I'm pretty sure that's what it does, right? Now imagine if you could take the things in your body that are wasteful, right, like excess fat or anything else, and you move them around. You just move a slight modification in a molecule. It becomes something totally different that your body is deficient in. Now your body balances itself out, right? And that's why we have homeostasis. And if you can maintain a healthy homeostasis, right, in an optimal level, that would mean really most of the health issues we have would really be resolved just by maintaining them and allow your body to thrive. So I was talking to a woman about that today, about how that's possible, and she was saying she's on a channel blocker for her blood pressure, but her doctor told her this, and she had a very low pulse. Right? Her pulse was like 44 beats per minute, and I'm like, well, you're taking a channel blocker, so it's blocking the channels, the nutrients being able to go in, the hemoglobin being able to go into the cell, right, in the blood cell. So your body has less of a need to push that blood around the body because it's not carrying enough. So it's beating very slowly to preserve you, right? So, and she smoked for 20 years, and she did heroin for 10 years. And the doctor told her, this is a doctor here in the U.S., said that the cardiovascular system has nothing to do with blood pressure. That's what her doctor told her 2 days ago. To me, that's kind of terrifying, isn't it? Like, the doctor could be that ignorant. Like, how do you think that's true? Or not? Am I wrong in this?
No, you're there. You're there.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
So what I was talking to her about, like, what you could actually do, if these things are true. This is what would happen. And imagine, the results that we can see, right? So, and then there's lawyers involved now, and the lawyers are doing what lawyers do, right? They're trying to trip everything up. They're trying to step in and get a contract that, gets us to say something that's not true, and all these different things, all they're trying to do, right? But you know what? You can't do any of that. We're just talking. We're sharing theories about how something that is growing out of the earth exists. You know what? And the FDA and all these ridiculous groups, they can go to hell if they think they're going to tell us for long that we can't cure a disease that's killing us. I realize that's actually a violation of our constitutional right, our rights to, pursuit of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Mm-hmm. Right? We have the right to live. So if we have the right to live, then we have the right to cure ourselves. Certainly from substance that comes directly from the planet that we were all born on. Right?
Nah. So, you would think that that's like like 1 + 1 = 2, but no, you have to use the new math. Use their system. 1 + 1 = 12, and sometimes 5, as long as you get a gold star.
That is a tragedy.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember my son coming back from I think it was 3rd grade, something like that, and he was talking about the math and he showed me he had a gold star, and it was 1 + 1, and they equal 5. Now I asked, "Is this 5 or is this 2?" He said 5. I mean, 1. I'll hold my hand, right? 2. 1 and 1 is 2. How was that 5? But it was the gold star that made him okay with it. It's like, it's not okay. So I had a run-in with this teacher, and I said, "Why are you doing this?" "Oh, it's important to support their their self-image." And I'm going, yeah, it's important for him to know what's wrong and right. It's not a judgment call. It's math. It doesn't work to hold up buildings. It doesn't work to keep your car moving. It's not a maybe. It just is. So obvious. Yeah, the craziness that they put us through.
That's a great point, though. It's like this isn't subject for debate,
Yeah.
right?
There's no debate here. What are you doing to my children?
Yeah, it's like I keep thinking about this with the abortion laws, right? That they keep promoting, right? So, I mean, think about what a train wreck this is, right? You have an undercover journalist, right? And under the law, he's allowed to record and actually publish it if he is exposing a violent crime. In this, he gets 14 videos where they expose a completely criminal racketeering scam to not only use illegal methods to abort babies, but to lie to patients, to lie to them, to say they're going to do it a different way, then keep the baby alive, take babies that are born alive. Now, there is no question what alive means, right? If a baby is breathing, if it's crying, right? I mean, this woman described in front of the Congress, by the way. She described under oath a baby crying that she took to a room, and she had at least the decency to wrap the baby, and she left it in a pile to die overnight.
Oh my God.
Now, a little known fact. Now, babies have actually been shown, there have been stillborns that the mother held there on her chest to mourn the baby because it was a stillborn, right? And those babies, after hours, have come back to life.
Oh wow.
Just from the human touch. In like manner, if you don't touch a baby and it feels that it is in an amorphous void, it no longer has the beating heart of the mother, it no longer hears the voice of the mother, it no longer has the warmth and comfort of being inside the mother, and has no idea what happens next, the baby will die from despair. And these children, this is what Ron Davis talks about, and he has ample evidence on this, that these children that get abducted by Child Protective Services, depending on their age, I'm not sure what the factors are, but in many cases, they isolate them and take them away from their parents, and the children die. They die from sadness. I mean, I'm sure that's not the official diagnosis, but that is what happens. They die from being disconnected from their parents. And on top of that, you have a growing suicide rate among the parents because they convince them that they're bad parents, that they don't deserve to have their child. And the way they do it is they just keep saying awful things to them. They just repeat it so strong and so loud in such an awful, horrendous way that it triggers them. And they start to believe it's true. And then they start to beat themselves up over every time they yell at their child, when they're about to touch the iron. So they yell at the child and they slap them on the butt. And now they think they're an abusive parent. Right? They think there's something wrong with them. And usually they're young, so they don't know what's going on. And the parent will kill themselves. That's the game, the diabolical game of hate that they play. Now, you can actually see those things have perpetuated through our society, right? And what are the results? Things like Antifa. Antifa is a group of 30-something. They got raised to think that they were gods. They could do whatever they wanted. They had no boundaries, right? That everything should be given to them. And when they didn't get it, when life turned out to be a little harder than they thought, and that they'd have to actually go be exceptional, they couldn't actually solve any problems. What do? Well, they went, try to get in shape in the local kickboxing class and joined Antifa. Maybe that's not exactly right, something like that.
No, but I think they're more of a group of reactors as opposed to a group that takes action. They just react to everything. That's
And
what
they're a triggered group.
Yeah, they're paid to do, so it's like win-win.
I think about it with my sons. I tell them this all the time. I'm like, look, don't try to fit in with anybody. Don't go out of your way to stand out. Don't do that. What I want you to do is just be you. Just be you. What will happen is you'll just draw the people that like that. And isn't that so much easier? But these kind of people, they want to be accepted and loved so much. They want to be adored by people, right? But for the most part, if you got a bunch of fans, right? Fans, now you can be a fan of an idea, right? Or appreciate the way something's delivered. That's different. But people that are fanatic and they worship, like they're starstruck and they're screaming like, oh my God, like every time they see certain people, you know what? It just really speaks to, they don't know what to do. They don't know what greatness looks like. So when they see something that looks great, they're just so happy. But what we should do is aspire to be the greatest version of ourselves, right? And in our aspirations, that's where things start to fall into place, right? But before they fall into place, a lot of times they feel like they're falling apart. If we can get past that part where things are falling apart, then we'll realize there's nothing that we can't do. There's no mark set too high. There's nothing that's not possible in this world. We just have to get through that first part. The part where we feel like nothing ever goes my way. If we can just get by that, we realize, the universe is just removing things and showing us stuff that we got to get rid of, get to where we want to go. And that's kind of how I see this whole process right now in politics. We're exposing pieces that are part of our society, that we've voted into office, that we've endorsed, we've accepted, we've embraced at times, right? And we got to expose them to bring them to the surface, so we can get rid of them. Make it do better. Yep. That's the benefit of having a good contract.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some wind noise.
Just a little bit of wind.
A little bit of wind.
Yeah.
Maybe, do I hear a siren coming? Just checking.
I'm dodging these guys, man. I'm all over the place. The only sign I came from you today. It was a good night.
Yeah, so I think I'll have to show you how to do a relay signal, so you can be in one location, but they'll think you're somewhere else.
You're just telling me that you have the ability to do that now, Billy?
Well, it's not something that's that would there'll be some money involved to make that happen, right? But yeah, you can make this happen.
Well, I think that you should try and find a way to make it happen without money.
Well,
Dan, I don't think you know how we work here, buddy. If you say you can do it, you got to be able to do it that way.
No, that's going to require some equipment purchase. Probably about $400 bucks, something like that. Yeah, you be able to get
Not
it
even
already.
worth it. It's not even worth it.
Nah, I'm not trying to hype anybody. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
like you're going to think I'm where in Detroit. They know I'm not in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, he's using his relay signal, but we're watching the camera.
It's like a big waste of money.
Yeah.
No,
But you know what? I
it
hope
would, it
does
would, no, it
happen?
would, I'm not talking VPN, but we could throw one of those in, and that's only an extra $3 or $4. But
Yeah,
per
no, I have a
month.
VPN. I have another VPN. It
But
just kept crashing my system.
yeah, well, there's a lot of VPNs that are not really worth it because it's all about their infrastructure. But they try and collect money from you and build as they go. You know how that is.
So,
All right.
oh, you know what I do hope happens though?
What's that?
That this new line of communication, because Kim said she has control of all the rails, right? And that's the internet and communication as well. So that to me is exciting, because that speaks like to a time where we can have a conversation and there's not some, not some AI.
So does this mean that she can cut off their burner phones?
I would imagine, I mean, I know that I think she figured that out a while ago to kind of track what they're doing ahead of time. I mean, they've got to be so frustrated. They operated like Batman for a long time, right? They just show up, they just knew stuff, right? Wow, God. But now it's like, I think Kim shut all that down. She didn't tell me that, but that's my sense. That she's got the quantum system running on automatic. At one point, she would read things like, Intel Dinar Chronicles, right? To get a heads up of when they were going to try to hack the trust. And now, I mean, they launched one, 3 weeks ago in Reno, and it lasted 4 minutes. That means the time before, the first Hercules system, right, was 12 minutes. They spent a year or so, something like that, building another one, right? Souped up, super deluxe, best they had, everything they had to throw with it. I mean, the greatest, they tried to call it the quantum financial system, right? It was going to make, it was going to be the cure for ugly and, make people, it was the greatest thing ever.
The cure for everything.
4 minutes. That means the quantum system improved by 3 times. It beat you down 3 times faster in the time you were trying to get even close to what it took.
So you can imagine them trying it again, and it'll be taken down in nanoseconds.
Right. Now, can you imagine? Yeah, so the next time, I guess, we'll get down to about, 45 seconds?
Yeah.
After a while. Enjoying that. But I don't think, I think, one of the things he did say is that they were trying to come up with a plan now to bring to Kim, right? So that's a big difference, right? When you went from the initial email said we got to pull this up. From one of the very first posts I made in January of 2018.
I think I remember it now. After you told me yesterday, I think I remember it now.
Yeah, I launched this whole series called "Going After the King." But
yes,
the very first one was a letter from the Rothschilds, an email from the Rothschilds directly to Kim, and they essentially told her that he said, "We will not negotiate with you."
Slave.
Slave. That's right. You're not negotiating with slave.
Yeah.
She said, you will. They said 80% of everything is ours, and we will destroy you with the power of our minds. I gotta be honest. Now that is hilarious to me, right?
Look, Snake, it was pretty hilarious the first time. It's even more funny because we're like, really?
Well,
It's,
now you see their mind on display, right? Are you wowed by what they're doing? Is everybody really impressed? Everybody who's out there still found. There's a lot of really knowledgeable, in-touch people following the RV, right? People that have a voice out there that could do some good, right? I really believe they have good intentions. I really believe that. I would love, and I'll say, I invite all of them, come and let's have a real conversation, challenge every single thing we say. And if we can't convince you and you're still convinced somehow the magic mushrooms of money exchanges that happen, which by the way, I was part of it. right? So I know all the things you're going to say. I've already been there, right? I had the same connections. It's like, just come talk about it. And if you're getting information directly from a Chinese elder or somebody like that, and you're like really prominent and really important, ask them this simple question: why do you keep doing this? If you have control, why haven't you brought the money down to people yet? Don't you care? 16,000 plus. I started this number back in November of 2017. I started running a tally. And I started bringing it up every time I wrote. I would put the first thing I wrote, the number of people that had died since the Chinese elders, the number of children that had died since the Chinese elders said the RV is going to be today. And they go, oh no, the cabal. Oh, it's like, look, we know the cabal did it. Because it's you. You're the cabal.
Right.
You're the one who promised it and you didn't come through. You are the, they're confessing who they are all the time. So, that's all. Just,
Yeah, they're losing and they're afraid of us.
Yes, indeed.
So, that's all I got, man.
That's good. Good enough for today.
All right. Sid, thank you for coming on. It always keeps me humble and grateful and accountable for all that you have done for the entire world, and I appreciate you for it.
So
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So Sid, are you now sometimes Sid?
No,
No.
I'm just sometimes because of Haiti and other things. I think Lisa's off today, and I just wanted to make sure things were good for you guys. Plus, you called me earlier about the phone number.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, thank you for
everybody
coming
out
on.
there, please go to the Speak Project on YouTube. Go to speakproject.net. Subscribe and follow those as well. And please go in and find out how you can contribute. Go contribute $1 or $5 or $10 or find a rich friend and just whatever you can do. And if you want to contribute in another way, I'm sure we have an email there. Sid, what email do you want people to contact us at?
Speakproject@protonmail.com.
Okay.
And if you can't donate, please share the videos and just get it out, because the stuff there it's affected me and Tank and all of our team.
Yeah.
Pretty affected by it.
Oh, you know what? My goodness, I gotta mention this really amazing contribution. This is just a someone sent this to us. Wait a second, I just want to make sure I get the name right.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the one who sent us the book and all that she wrote?
Oh yeah. I think her name was one sec. I had her name on the tip of my tongue too. Is it Jen? 1 minute.
Well, I'm sorry. I will properly your name, but thank you so much.
Jennifer, I think, right?
Yeah, thank you so much, Jennifer, for sending us that the book that she wrote in cooperation with THI, and she's the author. And she gave us permission to put it out there. And I believe I didn't get a chance to go through the whole thing yet, but if my memory serves me correctly, it talks about the Aborigines, and also she did the artwork as well. So I always love artists, and I appreciate that as well. And then she also she has a really amazing timeline that we were working on anyway. So I really appreciate having that version of the timeline, right? So that's
yeah, it's very, very detailed. And she also sent a list of Kim's communications, public communications, whether it be written or on various radio shows. So that was very helpful. A lot of people who want to know who Kim is already, they're asking so many questions. This is going to be a great reference piece, and anything that we put out from our website, and just having that is making it so much easier to get the word out. So thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah, so I would say that, and the reason why it popped into my head is, if you don't have money, there's still so many ways to contribute and to make a difference, and I don't, and sometimes, right now, what I know is very clear. We had all types of things going on this morning, and Michelle Walker and her team, right? They're doing great work, but they're part of our team, right? We're pulling everybody into a collective, right? We're all part of the same human squad, right? Trying to there's no competition. We're all trying to get to liberate humanity at the point, right? To save our children, to create a world that is inhabitable and comfortable and amazing, and just as people are, right? So that's the goal. So it doesn't matter who you're affiliated with, well, I guess within reason, like if you're part of the Eating Babies, Ku Klux Klan, kind of killing everyone group, repent first, then come talk to us. But for the most part, for anybody who's human out there and advocating for other humans, we have a place for you. We have work that needs to be done, and you do need help. And we spend all of our time working for the greater good, for everyone. And it's time for everybody to be a part of that. And I know that those statements are made by people from time to time, and but they don't give you things to do. I promise you, if you email us at speedproject at protonemail.com, that we have work for you. We have so much work to be done that we cannot keep on top of it. I promise you we have work for you too. And we can use the help, and we'll appreciate your area of expertise. If you have no expertise, we appreciate the fact that you want to contribute, and we'll find something for you to do too.
Yeah, absolutely. Please contact us. All right, thank you guys.
Yep.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank you.
night, Dan. Thanks as always.
Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. All right. Have a good night.